Hello and welcome to IGN Anime Club. Yay anime!
Yay anime!
So this is episode 26. This is IGN's conversational show about anime. I'm your host, Marina Sanchez, and joining me as always is Megan Sullivan.
Hey guys, guess what I did? I asked about getting Anime Club t-shirts in black because that was a highly requested thing, so hopefully that's coming our way.
Yeah!
Yay!
If you want to see, if you're watching the video, I'm wearing my Anime Club t-shirt. It's in red.
Which is awesome.
I like red more, but you know. And then,
I wish I could wear red.
yeah.
Red and black.
And that's our other host, Kallie Fleggy.
I spoke out of turn. I'm sorry. Yeah,
Nobody knows you yet. You're not allowed to.
Nobody knows who I am. I'm a ghost.
You're actually a ghost.
You're the Megan of the group.
Anyway, yeah, being a redhead, red is hard to wear, and I like black because it's like my heart.
I have
Just kidding.
I have too much black and white things, so
I literally
wear.
wear black every day, so that's me. Well, welcome to Anime Club.
so dark. You are a ghost.
Yeah.
Ghost today.
I'm the only one wearing like pastel today. I've got like, if you're listening, I've got sort of this pale blue shirt on. I don't even know how to describe it. It's like a lavender.
Yeah, it looks
bluish
nice.
blue. Thank you. Yes. But I got red and black over here.
For all things shirts.
For all things shirts,
For all
keep
your
it locked.
clothes.
IGN
If you
Anime
if you
Club.
are curious about the shirts, the Anime Club shirts that we're talking about, you can find that at go.ign.com/store. They're super cool. I like them a lot.
Callie on point.
I got that link.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You got all the links.
Yeah, so this week we want to continue our conversation about fall anime because, you know, like the beginnings just run for about 2 weeks. And
Yeah.
then you
So
settle in. There's
many
so
fall
many things.
anime.
It's just always this weird, nervous thing going into a new season. Like, I don't see that many shows I'm really into. Hopefully I like something. And then it's usually something that grabs your attention.
I don't know. I feel like the season's a little weird, though. I think it's very unconventional. Like, there's a lot of very unconventional anime this season, I feel like. Like, a lot of stuff that's kind of quirky or weird. And it's not a bad thing, but I feel like that's, like, the through line of all these different anime shows this season is that they're kind of offbeat.
Yeah, I'm definitely having that problem where I'll sit down and be like, all right, it's time to watch some anime. And then I'll be like, nothing is grabbing me.
Yeah, it's like, well, this one show doesn't have anything new, so
Yeah,
well,
and
what am I
think
doing?
we experienced this last season a little bit. Is sometimes the descriptions don't sell the show very well. So that happened with like School Live, for example, which we ended up really liking. We have a whole spoiler cast about that on the site right now. So that's one where I was like, the description did not sell me, and I didn't really want to watch that show, and I watched it just because I was reviewing it, and then I ended up really liking it. We all ended up really liking it. So I'm hoping that happens with some of these shows, but like I'll see the description, I'll be like, I guess I'll just not watch TV right now.
Yeah, sometimes I'm like, I know I need to watch this, but I just don't want to.
Yeah.
It's like one of those things that people are like, oh, you're so lucky you get to do anime for work. It's like, yeah, but it's also work because I don't want to watch everything.
It's like, listen, I love watching anime, but like anime that I seek out to watch. And when we go through the fall shows, like some of them we're not going to continue watching because we don't like them, but we have to watch them.
The good news is that some of these things are a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, some of them are turning out really well. There's definitely some that I'm excited to keep watching.
I think like the second half ended up being a little bit better than the first half. I mean,
Yes.
as far as consistently enjoying the shows that we were watching.
Right.
Yeah.
So who wants to go first? I feel like this is like show and tell. It's like, please tell me your story.
I do. I'm
Where's
so
your book report?
Callie, go.
I'm so excited about this one. Beautiful Bones Sakurako's investigation. So here's just a quick story about me. I've been watching forensic murder documentaries since I was 11. I love them so much. And so when I saw this show, I was like, forensics anime! And I got really excited and I liked it so much. And I thought the animation was beautiful.
Animation is gorgeous.
It's absolutely a gorgeous, gorgeous show. There's this scene where Sakurako, she's this, she's kind of like a gifted genius, like forensic anthropologist, basically. And so she can analyze bones and see, you know, from just like a quick glance, kind of estimate, you know, what the animal or human is, how old the specimen is, and blah, blah, blah. So there's this scene where she's looking at a crime scene and she kind of like everything kind of slows down because she's thinking, and all of these like beautifully animated like animal skeletons are walking around, and I was just like, yeah, I love stuff like this.
It's kind of like CSI with a touch of magic in a way, but I mean, like, there's no magic actually involved, but it just seems so whimsical and like fantastical.
Yeah, and it's
as
not,
she analyzes things.
It's not as goofy as CSI. Like it's very much like I love the science behind it. She explains, you can tell this is, the skull of, someone of Asian descent because of how the
skull is
shaped,
Yeah.
and you can, tell by the dental work that it's this old because there is no dental work, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I love it.
No, I love that she goes to the one crime scene and she's like, well, I can tell you that this was a murder. It wasn't a double suicide because if you're right-handed, you can't tie the knot this way. And even if you did, it's facing the wrong direction. And then it's like, drowning victims have like froth coming out of their mouths because the water got in their lungs. And these people don't have that, so they didn't drown. And she was able to just look at everything and be able to tell that, and was like explaining forensic stuff in a way that even I could understand.
Yeah.
And I was really super interested in that.
Also, she just looks so mature.
Oh my
I just
God.
want to
Queen.
mention it's cool because you don't see a lot of adult women being one of the main protagonists. She's kind of like not necessarily sidekicked by another kid, but the other kid is definitely the person we're following from his perspective a little bit more so. But Sakurako, she just looks so mature. I'm like, man, I want to grow up to be like you one day.
I know.
Yeah.
Goals.
Yeah.
Life goals, wife goals.
Also, it's important to note that she's actually not a cop or anything or in forensics.
Yeah,
for the
she's
police.
like a hobbyist.
So she's
She's the daughter of a forensics professor.
Yeah.
yeah, so she knows about this. It is her job to I forget what it's called. The bone people, the people with the bones.
The bone people. that works.
You mean the skeletons?
Osteo something.
Yeah,
You want to say osteoporosis?
Like her actual.
It's definitely not osteoporosis.
So it's her position. I don't remember science.
She works.
It's my sister's job, not mine.
Yeah, she works with.
So she does work with bones. That is her job.
That's her job.
We have internet. I'll look it up.
Her, yeah, that's a good idea. Her official job is not crime investigation, but she
Right.
uses her knowledge to do that.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool seeing her step on these scenes and the weird
Yeah.
problems it poses because she just shows up. She's like, "Hey, I'm here to help, but you didn't ask me, but I'm here anyway."
Yeah, and that was the one weird thing. I was like, because I justified it to myself because I was just so on board with the show immediately that they're in this kind of podunk area and it's this county police force, and so they're not very professional, and that's why she comes up to the crime scene, which is not something that you do.
She
No,
just
you don't
walk
just
straight
waltz
on.
up.
Hey,
you don't really-
don't do that.
You can't walk onto crime scenes because that's bad. Don't do that. But so she just kind of shows up, and they're kind of like, oh, I guess we'll just let her do that. And that was the one thing where I was like, really? But she was kind of bewildering to them because she's like, oh, you're wrong. Let's do an autopsy. And they were like, what? This is totally a suicide. And she was like, nah.
It's no, you guys are dumb.
Yeah, she's like, you're dumb. I know what I'm talking about. I went to I applied to college as a chemistry major because I wanted to do forensics. I just love forensic science so much. I'm so happy that there's a forensics anime.
Yeah, and it's really well done too. It's not
pretty.
garbage, which is nice.
Yeah, it's not I don't think I've even ever seen an episode of CSI because I'm not into the drawn out dramatics of it. It wasn't like that. It wasn't super oh my god, who's the killer? It was more hey, science says that's not a suicide. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like legal dramas for that reason because my dad is a lawyer and I've seen him in court, and the whole thing with, going to court and, doing the dramatic accusations and all that stuff that doesn't work that way. But I know it's entertaining, but I do like that this show is more grounded. It's not super over the top, but it's just very sort of mysterious, and it's a thinker.
I think it's grounded because of the way Sakurako is characterized. Miranda said, she's very mature. She looks very mature. She might be a little weird, and she might be really into death and bones and stuff.
And why is she hanging out with a 15-year-old, by the way?
Yeah, so that hasn't been revealed yet, but there's obviously hinting out why she's hanging out with this kid. So, like I said, before, the protagonist is this boy who's in, I guess, high school or something.
Yeah, Shotaro.
And they're very opposite in their nature and personalities. He's very outgoing, he's kind of nice, and just pretty normal. And she's very much not. They go out together to go hunt for bones, and that's when he finds a skull and gives it to her, and she's like, I must keep this. She's like, you can't keep that.
Can't keep a skull.
Yeah.
And so he keeps you a little bit more grounded too, in
That's true.
reality. That's another facet of it. Like, he is there to be like the viewer in a way.
Exactly. I think he's the lens with which you're supposed to see Sakurako, and the average viewer is going to think she's a little weird, kind of like he thinks she's a little weird. She is weird. She's like, I hope the bones are the bones of murder victims.
I like
whoa.
Yeah, what she said about that was so interesting. Is like, humans are not wild animals. If you find human bones out in the world and something is up, like there's a story behind it, and I think she's fascinated by the story.
Yeah,
which is interesting.
That's what I'm excited for the rest of the show, is what's going to be unraveled. And I do like how grounded it is, even though it is a little bit whimsical the way she kind of does things, but it's not like goofy. So I like that.
Yeah, and the animation is gorgeous.
It's so pretty.
And the music is pretty. It's a pretty show, which I like that contrast with something dark, but with something very pretty looking.
Yeah. Check it
This
out.
is like the better version of CSI, but
like
anime.
way better, and also anime.
Anyway,
Yes,
yeah.
just all the things
It's
I love.
the best of the best.
It's really my aesthetic. Yeah, so that was my biggest excitement.
Sweet.
What about you guys?
So this week, I finally started watching a Gundam show. I say that because there have been... Okay, sorry. I looked this up. This is the 14th incarnation of the Gundam series.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So it's been
It's
around
been going on
forever.
Yeah, so my first experience of any Gundam thing was Gundam Wing Endless Waltz, which is the film. I don't remember it. I watched it like a long time ago. I think I was in middle school or something. So it's been a while since I've seen stuff. I've watched other mech things between now and then. And the new one is called Mobile Suit Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans. And it's very reminiscent of All Noah Zero, if you saw that like a few seasons ago. And so this premise is that there was a massive war between the people of Mars and Earth. Like, at this point, Earth has colonized Mars. People were living there, but it's been long enough time that they want to be independent. So maybe it sounds like U.S. Revolution in a way, and all other revolutions, like, colonies just want to be independent. And they're slowly kind of starting to have little insurgencies and like uprisings, little clashes now. It's been a long time after the war, and it focuses on this group of orphans that are working on in a Martian military. I mean, I'm not sure if they're all orphans, but it kind of feels unfair that way because they're like really abused and they're just they're sad kids.
Oh no.
No.
Yeah, and like their higher ups in their military ranks are just like jerks adults. They're not all children.
Adults.
Yeah, like they're just like jerk adults. Like at one point they just leave them on the battlefield to die. Like they use them as decoys to escape. It's really bad. And so it kind of feels it's a little weird. The first episode was a little fast. Like, it introduced like a bajillion characters. I was like, who is this? All right, I don't care about you. You're probably gonna die anyway.
Don't get too attached.
So it's like, it's a very like heavy on the military part. And of course they show the first mobile suit, which is, I don't know which Gundam it is, but it looked really cool.
Fair
and
enough.
It was fun. Like, it was just a fun show. So I guess the main conflict is that the Martian princess chooses 3 of the guys, or 4 guys, like a little squad from this military base to escort her to Earth to be like a peace representative, which is like one thing that kind of struck me, like All Noah Zero, like they had a similar thing where Mars and Earth were, competing, except Mars had like the upper hand in that one. Anyway, and so then they of course get attacked because they want to kill the princess because of course she's like the face and the leader of the revolution kind of thing. But let's make her the ambassador to Earth because that's smart.
It sounds like there's a lot going on in this first episode.
The first episode, like, there's a lot, and it doesn't feel too bad. It's just mostly the characters, like, it kind of jumps around a lot without really explaining much. I was like, who are these people? I guess they're bad because they're attacking the Martians. All right. If he feels fine, I want to give it a few more episodes. The protagonist isn't super interesting right now. He's just like,
Bummer.
I'm a kid who can just fight really well in mech suits, so cool.
So I have a question. Iron-blooded. I think most people have iron in their blood. So is that? Is it a reference to like the suits?
I think it's
or like
probably
mech?
a reference to them being in the military. Because they're, all the
steely.
Kids. Yeah, so the kids
iron
are there
willed.
it's just like all these boys just at this military base. It doesn't really explain why. It's just that they're just there.
Who
knows?
I
Get funneled in.
I just generally like military stuff, so I'll probably check this out.
It was interesting. Like, it wasn't very far from a bad first episode. It was just fast. Like, if you're going into it, just realize that. But also, if you're interested in Gundam and haven't ever started, this is a clean slate. So it's interesting. So that was kind of cool.
Fair.
All right, good enough. Good to know.
Good.
Because
Yeah.
I haven't seen Gundam.
Yeah,
or if I have, I don't remember
right,
either.
like that's the big important thing is like you can get into this without having any knowledge of other Gundam stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Like most of my experience with mech anime is like parodies of mech anime. Like I don't know a whole lot about mech anime.
like the mechs.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was
that's cool.
It was fine. Like it was good. I'm interested to see more of it. I think the second episode is out and it's streaming actually everywhere. So
That's
it's
cool.
more accessible.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I was super excited for Utaware Mono, which I think is different. Like the setting itself is like snow country in Japan, which I don't see a lot of in anime. So I really like that.
Is it Japan?
Well, okay, so it's obviously based off of that. It's obviously not, because what it happens is it starts with a guy running around in hospital scrubs. He's running around the snow being chased by a giant centipede, because that's totally normal.
It's horrifying.
And then
Gross.
he gets saved by this adorable cat girl named Kuon, and she's dressed up in like this sort of cloak and sort of these fantasy-like clothes, but obviously for snow, so she can keep warm. And yeah, he doesn't know who he is. The main protagonist, whose name he doesn't remember, so he doesn't remember his name. She has to give him a name later.
Is he wearing scrubs or like a patient?
It looked like scrubs to me.
Scrubs,
kinda
like he'd
looked
be like a nurse or a doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
possibly. Because it wasn't like a gown sort of patient sort of thing.
No, it
So
wasn't
I
a
know-
gown. It was
gown,
full-on
yes.
scrubs. Like this
Oh,
guy
interesting.
should have
Yeah,
had
it
gloves
was,
on.
It was weird. He was just like walking for a while, and he's like, where am I?"
So that implies something about his occupation, obviously.
Yeah, we don't know for sure, but he luckily gets a change of clothes so he cannot die of hypothermia. So
That's important.
Yeah, but so this cat girl saves him, and she immediately appoints herself as his guardian. So I feel like already we have like a reverse Fushigi Yugi thing going, where instead of Tomohome and Miyaka, now we have Kuon and Haku, which is the name that she gives him.
Haku, and you pointed out
So I
something
pointed
interesting.
out something. So Haku is actually, I think it's a real Japanese name, but I thought, and I could be wrong on that, so I need to confirm. But I was like, Haku, isn't that like the Japanese verb to puke?
And
Just name him puke.
Right. So the best part about that is that he's going on and on. How it's like, I have to have a cool name. This is my chance at a fresh start. I can be anything. And she's like, oh, I'm gonna give you a name because I'm your guardian now. And he's like, oh, okay, just make sure it's cool. And she's like, Haku, and he's like, all right.
Yeah, he's not super enthusiastic about it. So it might mean older brother. It might mean something else as well. But I was like, I have to look it up. But I was like, it's awfully close to the verb to puke in Japanese. So I started immediately laughing. And then I like Kuon. I like this cat girl. Like, she's a bit feisty. Like, this guy goes to like a bathhouse, and she's like, I'm gonna see what goes on.
It's really funny and awful.
It's really it's
But
really
the weird thing is that he never like catches her. Usually in those like kind of peeping tom scenes, when it's a guy like in a
They always
like
get caught.
bathhouse or something, they always get caught. But
Yeah.
she somehow manages not to be caught, which is kind of like a funny part. I think the best part about the scene though is that she has a cat. She's a cat person,
Right.
and she has like this tail that they do a really weird job focusing on the entire show.
Yeah. Well,
So
it
it's,
indicates
like, so
how
expressive.
excited
They
she
make it
is.
very expressive.
Yes,
Which
they
is
sure do.
weird. The tail is expressive.
Yes, it's
Fluffy
very.
tails.
I gotta check this out.
It was funny.
This is one of the ones that I talked about earlier, where like the description didn't capture me, but
Right.
when you guys are describing it to me, it
So-
makes me want to look at it.
What the description does poorly is it's like, oh, this is based off a game, and this guy just doesn't know where he's at.
Yeah,
and he doesn't have any memories, and this cat
really-
girl saves him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just not a good description, but it's kind of, I don't know, like inviting in a weird way because it is so fantastical, and you are following this protagonist doesn't know what's going on, and he doesn't seem like he belongs in this world just because he did come out in like scrubs.
Yeah.
And that does not match with the clothing.
And he was blown away by it. She was a cat girl. In fact, he pulled on her tail, which I don't know why you would do that, but I guess he was like, hey, it's a tail. And of course
Let me just jank on that.
yeah, and of course she has this bird, ostrich, mammal thing that she's riding around on. So and he clearly doesn't know what's going on. But what's funny is he doesn't freak out as much as you would think. It's like, I know your memory doesn't work, but there's certain things that are just inherently not natural in our world that are natural in this world. You'd think he would do a little more commentary. He's very blasé about the whole thing so far, but
Interesting.
Yeah, and he's a pretty cool protagonist for being someone who has amnesia. He's not just the what's going on. He has opinions on weird things and still tries to figure things out. So it's like as you're figuring things out, he's also figuring things out. So it parallels really well.
Yeah, I always find amnesia protagonists interesting for that reason, because they're very much a foil for the viewer, because you're
Absolutely.
discovering things at the same time they are.
yeah. So it's a good thing. So I liked it. I'll keep watching it for a while. I'll see where it goes. I don't know what kind of anime it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be fantasy action or sort of harem elements, I assume a little bit the latter. I'm already like, I wonder what other cute cat girls he's going to run into.
Cat girl.
Yeah, but I do like Kuon. I think she's
she's
super cool
fun.
character. She's a lot of fun.
Good. I'm glad.
So that was a good one.
I watched The Perfect Insider.
That was an so speaking of interesting, that was an interesting one.
Yeah, that one. So The Perfect Insider, I don't even know where to begin describing it.
Right?
It's about some college student and her, presumably I think he's like a newer professor, like a younger professor, or like a grad student instructor or something.
Yeah.
And they do things with math, I think. Yes. And she's like she's sort of attracted to him, but he's like weird. And I was like, why do you, girl?
She likes his brains.
Yeah, she likes him for his brain, but also his brain's kind of weird and he's not very social.
Yeah. He's a little emo.
Yeah, he's super emo. 13-year-old Kallie would have been like, yes. But the emo days of old. Yeah, so basically, I forget her name already. The main character she's like a cute like college student. Like
yeah, she's super cute. I can't think of her name either at the top of my head. But
when you watch a lot of anime, names kind of blur together. She goes to visit some famous like scientist and can only talk to her through like video chat, and is asking her these weird questions. And the scientist is like. The way the protagonist describes this scientist is like sometimes she looks like an angel and other times she looks like a devil.
Yeah.
I liked that a lot. I loved that description because I like characters like that where it's like I can't tell if you're evil or beautiful.
Yeah, but she got locked away in an insane asylum too because she murdered her parents.
Yeah, she's accused of murdering her parents. She says a doll did it. And the whole thing is like this girl, she's like a girl genius, as in like she was a genius child. And now she's like a young, famous scientist, like the most prominent scientist in their community. And
like the world. Like she's supposed to be
she's like world
renowned
famous.
for, coding and all sorts of things, like just everything. She is like the best.
Yeah.
So what makes it so intriguing that she's saying, well, a doll killed my parents. Like, that doesn't make sense for someone who's like so logical,
so
and
brilliant.
Stuff. So there has to be something there,
unless it's some like huge metaphor for something.
Right. There's a mystery inherent there. They set up this mystery in the first episode, and the whole thing is like someone's describing her. I think someone who knew her as a child is describing her as she was always trying to figure out what she was and what life was. And so the protagonist, the last question she asks the scientist during their little interview thing is like, who are you? And it really catches this woman off guard.
Yeah.
That's the only question she didn't know how to answer.
Who are you? Why did your Barbie dolls kill your parents?
Who are, like, literally who?
Yeah.
So yeah, I was really intrigued. It was a very somber show. Like
it felt very human.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't feel. I mean, it's not supposed to be like a high action show, at least for where we're at. It's a mystery.
Yeah.
And the conversations between the characters felt really just natural.
Yeah, I thought it was done really well, and I really like shows that aren't super action heavy, that are really thought heavy.
Yeah, it's a nice change of pace. Like there are a lot of heavy action shows usually every season. Yeah. So it is different to see more adult shows kind of come out.
Yeah, it's very much I don't want to say it's like a talking heavy show, but it's very
it is.
it is, but I think that has a negative connotation. I don't mean it to be negative. I think it's just very thought provoking.
Yeah.
And so I watched it at my lunch break, and like I just like took my headphones off at the end, and I was like, whoa, like, I need another lunch break because I need to process this. It was really, I'm excited for the next episode. It was super intriguing, and I like genius college student stuff. Like genius college students being sad and weird. I love it. And just being like, what is coding? Who am I? What is life? I'm like, yeah, let's do it. I'm ready for this journey.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. Like a lot of anime feels very unconventional this season. There's a lot of more adult, sort of just like a more intelligent approach, which is, it's not a bad thing when things are silly and wacky and over the top, but this is more of like, you have to be a little more patient with it. You have to pay a little more attention.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah, I found that if you just kind of stop really thinking about what they're saying, then you get a little lost. It's actually a show I watched it like a week ago, and I really want to watch the first episode again because I kind of forgot a lot of the important parts that happened.
Yeah, I might rewatch it.
Yeah, it's just like one of those shows that it is so like heavy in conversation and very not coded in what they're trying to say, but it's a little bit deeper than just a casual conversation.
They're not obvious about what they mean because you're jumping into these already established relationships, and like you said, it is very real. The dialogue is very real, and so some of the things like don't make complete sense to us as kind of outside viewer. I mean, we're viewers because we're watching a show, but the outside observer if I were to just walk into professor's office hours that I'm not taking his class and I don't know his students and I hear them talking, I'm not going to follow everything because they have established they just have established rapport. So I thought that was very realistic in that I'm going to have to really pay attention to kind of pick up on things and learn about what their world is.
Yeah, so that'll be an interesting show for sure.
Yeah,
I'm excited for the next
Yes,
episode.
me too.
So
what else?
Jumping to something that's completely different. Mr. Osomatsu.
Oh my god, this is so off the wall.
Way different. So this is not something you need to go into with your thinking cap on.
Nope, not at all.
Not at all.
You turn it off. It'll get in the way.
It's a good break from your thinking cap.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. It's definitely a fun show. So Mr. Osomatsu is based off a gag manga series that ran from 1962 to 1969. And since it's like an anniversary, they're just remaking the show kind of just to bring it back.
Oh.
And this show is very forward about that. Like, hey, we're from the 60s. We don't belong here. Like, that's like the entire first episode is them trying to figure out, like, that is their entire gag for this first episode. How can we fit in modern anime?
Literally another one where the description
so
I was like,
good.
And then when you describe it as like my friend and as someone who like I know your taste in anime and stuff, now I'm like, oh, I get it. The description was just like, they look around and the world is different. And I'm like, okay. But the whole thing is like, whoa, we're from the 60s. It's not the 60s anymore.
Yeah. And it's great how they're trying to fit in like their old gags into modern things. So like it starts out as them like, well, we need to, revamp our series. We need to rethink things. And so it changes
meta.
It changes by a 4:3 black and white kind of cartoon into like, a normal 16:9, and it starts with them coming out as like idols.
Yeah, like boy
they
idols.
just transform into idols. And so this features, if you haven't heard of Otsumatsu at all, it features 6 tuplets. So they're all something Matsu, something Matsu, something Matsu. Like that's all their names. And Osamatsu is the eldest brother. And it's just them and their weird idol group trying to fit into this drama school.
Yeah, and they all have different, like they all do, like there's the tsundere boy, and then there's there's the prince boy, and then there's a chibi boy.
Good.
Yeah, and it just sets it up where they're skewing everything from boy bands to dating sims to other anime, and it's just hysterical.
Yeah. And this episode, I mean, it's just like this great little story in one bit, and how their entire facade just falls apart.
Yeah.
And it's like how other characters from their previous manga are trying to fit into this thing and they don't, and it's just really weird and hilarious. And they, of course, it's a parody, kind of like a big gag parody sort of thing. So they bring in like references to at least 30 plus shows. Yeah, so it's amazing.
Yeah, they all go to this super beautiful school where only super beautiful people can go. So they're disguised as these beautiful shonen boys who are in this idol. They're the most
High School Host Club.
They're the most popular, except that they have their little tics from the Showa era that they can't get rid of. And so at one point, one of their mentors actually wrote his name down. He was like, Iyami comes, like he's this really goofy, like painfully dated buck-toothed Japanese stereotype cartoon from the Showa era. And then when he arrives at the school, he's this beautiful blonde French dude, except he still has his buck teeth, so he keeps showing it by accident. You're just like, oh my god, that is really painful. And then like this other character has like these huge puffy cheeks, and he's trying to be a really cool character too, but there's certain character traits they absolutely cannot get rid of. And so they're trying to fit in, but it all falls apart by the end. So they start switching anime genres. So they have like references to like sports anime. I think Haikyuu was like one of the things they did. And then like
Yowamushi Pedal, like everything.
Yeah, that was
Oh my god.
And then towards the end, like one of the characters like comes through and he's like an Attack on Titan Like for the very first
he turns out to
episode.
be a Titan. Like,
Yeah.
one of the characters. And
He's like climbing over the wall of the
my
school,
God.
and they have to like attack him. And you're like, there were so many like really fast parody references. It was really hard to keep up.
People should make like a name the anime game with this show and just like see how many you can name.
I mean,
Yeah,
if
I'd
you're
have to go
playing-
back again and watch it just to
Yeah.
catch all the
Yeah,
references.
it was hilarious too. Like, he did it super well and was very smart. Of course, there's like the straight man that's like, our facade is falling apart. Like, you can't do this. You can't go back to the show era style. Like, come on.
Yeah.
And then he's like, no, you're trying to mix too much together. It's like, this is gonna work.
So there's
So good.
And there was this like one scene where like the brothers are like, "Oh hey, your clothes are really loose. Oh, your clothes are really loose." And like their shirts fly off, and then all the guys start fighting over this girl, and she dies of happiness. Like they start fighting over her because they're all so pretty, and she's like, her last words are "thank you," and then she dies.
Yeah.
Literally me.
Like
that was probably my favorite gag. All the guys are like, no, you can't have her. You can't have her. Like, they're like, choose. And like, they're all holding out the hands kind of thing. And she's just like, thank you. And just dies.
she dies of it like this. It's amazing.
Incredible.
Yeah, so it's a super fun show. I haven't gotten to see the second episode out yet. I know it's them trying to find a job for the first part, and the second part is like the melancholy of Mr. Osamatsu. So it's like, they're going to keep referencing and parodying other anime.
Yeah, I'm
so
going to marathon
melancholy.
this tonight. That
Yeah.
sounds awesome.
Yeah, so really funny and very smart.
Yes,
So,
highly recommend.
yes.
Miranda and I are totally on board, and hopefully you'll be on board.
Oh, I'm like already on board with this.
You know what you'd be on board with? Lovely Muko.
The puppy one?
The puppy one. The
I
head
wasn't
puppy.
down for it.
I haven't watched it yet because
It's-
I have no time.
How did you not like puppy?
It was on my list for tonight. Okay, so now I'm
Yeah.
Fight.
So this tells a story of a cute little Akita dog. She's so adorable. Her name is Muko, and her glassblower owner is named Komatsu, and it's all about
Glass blower?
yeah, it's like so he makes glass.
Yeah, but I was not expecting that job. Anyway.
It took you a
Someone's
moment.
got to make fancy glass bowls, right?
I know it's a job. Like I know what a glass blower is. I just was like, oh, I thought it would be something like
like a mechanic or
more
like a
conventional
salaryman.
job than a glass blower. Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry.
I'm so glad I blew your mind just then. So they're out in the countryside.
I only had one cup of coffee today. So anyway,
I didn't have any. I need to wake up, but
so the glass blower and
the
his
glass
dog.
blower and his dog, and it's all from the dog's perspective. And the dog, I love dogs, so you have to understand how much this means to me. But it's all about like she loves and adores her owner. It's about how they sort of miscommunicate. They love each other, but they don't quite understand. Like owner doesn't understand why the dog is chasing its tail and fascinated with its shiny nose in the window, and just it's so adorable. It's just these little shorts, only like 10, 12 minutes long, about
12 minutes, yeah.
about a little Akita dog and how much she loves her owner and how adorable she is. And she's always chasing her tail. She's like, oh, tail! And she'll spin in circles or she'll do baseball slides across the grass
Wait.
because it just makes her happy.
So does she have a voice? Like, is this dog voice?
No, she
Yes.
doesn't talk, but she does have a voice.
And like internally, like it's an internal sort of thing.
hate when
So-
animals have voices.
But they're not talking.
I know, but I hate when they have voices.
It's really high pitched too.
I don't know. So obviously, I haven't seen the show yet.
Yeah.
But I have a thing, and I've had it for a really long time, where like even if the animal's mouth isn't moving, like if an animal has a voice, I'm immediately like, that's not what that dog sounds like. Like I just, I'm like, that's not what it sounds like. That's not how that dog thinks. Like I just get really, I'm very picky about how dogs sound, and I hate it.
Oh, why do you hate
So-
Luna from Sailor Moon? She actually talks.
No, I don't hate Luna.
That's a good point.
Okay,
No,
yeah, you don't like talking animals.
It
You hate
depends-
Luna.
No, it depends on the animal. Depends on the animal. So my first instinct is I don't like this, and then I get used to the animal. All right. So,
Okay, good.
but like, so Taromaru in School Live, like he has a lot of personality, but he doesn't speak with words, and I like that because it's cool when you have expressive animals that don't speak. I don't know. It's also different when the animal is like Luna's not like a realistic cat. Not that anime cats are terribly realistic. I don't want to get into an argument about talking about animals right now. But
No, I
Not
expect a full debate right now. No.
I'll get a report on your desk by tomorrow morning. No, it depends on how the animal's portrayed too. So if it's like this is a normal dog and the owner sees it as a normal dog, but like the dog has its own internal monologue, I'm just like,
But a little bit of the premise was that the owner and the dog don't understand what the other is doing or why they're doing what they're doing, and so it's cute.
I will withhold judgment until I watch it, and I'll just post it in the Facebook group at facebook.com/group/IGN Anime Club.
Boom.
And I will say what my impressions are when I see it. But Miranda I want to hear what you didn't like. Besides talking dogs.
Trying to snap. I can't snap. Anyway, Megan did some cool snaps, and I was just like, I want to snap. Anyway.
I'll never be able to do that again, by the way. That was it. Pack it in.
So it was cute, but it seems like it's a show for children. And I kind of got that vibe, especially because there's a lot of hiragana and things that spell it out. Like spell out what the dog is saying, like literally on the screen. It says in hiragana. Like,
so it's for my knowledge of Japanese then.
Yeah, so I mean, like I think it could be good like that, but also I think the dog's voice was just really annoying. Like it kind of was annoying. Like it was just, I could have probably watched a show if it were broken into smaller shorts. I think that would make sense, but because it's just such a long running, cute, happy, high energy.
I do admit it could have been
childish thing, like
5 minutes,
like 5
and it would have been fine.
Would have been good. But 12 minutes, I'm like, all right, you lost me halfway through. Bye. So it's I kind of watched it, and then I started very quickly losing interest. I think it's cute, but it's too long for
it is a little too long. I would go with that, but I love doggies.
Like I think, yeah,
I do love dogs.
Me too, but you guys know how I feel about anime dogs, fictional dogs.
Okay, the dog's not going to die. Okay, this would be a terrible show if it were like.
Wait,
Lovely Zuko dies.
That's a different show.
That would make it an excellent show. Are you kidding me? If this show was just like, cute dog, happy dog, and then the next episode was like, the dog is dead, I'd be like, oh, okay.
It's almost like South Park, where it's like Kenny died in like every episode. It's like the end, Muko just dies in every episode.
Oh, it'd be harder than when Kenny dies.
You people are horrible.
That'd be really bad.
Kenny doesn't have a real voice, so he just like mumbles. Whatever.
I don't know. I liked Lovely Muko. Miranda didn't like Lovely Muko. We'll see.
Kallie doesn't like talking animals.
Doesn't like talking animals. Oh man.
Wait. Kitas are cute.
They don't know English or Japanese. They don't.
So you don't like Happy from Fairy Tail either then?
I don't know what that is. I don't.
It's a talking blue cat, is what it is.
Just talking animals just aren't on my radar. Like my mom will say something about what my dog's thinking, and I just want to be like, no, she's not thinking that. She doesn't speak English. She's thinking bark, bark. I don't know.
I literally have conversations with my dog, and then I fill in what he says. So I'll switch my voice, and so it'll be an entire conversation. So it sounds like I'm talking to myself, but I swear my dog and I are having a perfectly intelligent discussion.
Like I'm that garbage person that's like, hello, puppy, how are you, puppy? Like I'm like so gross with my dog, but like she just looks at me. Like she doesn't speak to me. My dog looks at me like she's like, you're stupid, and then she walks away.
Actually, that's what I vocalized though. That my dog's like, you're really dumb, Megan.
Yeah.
But I don't actually vocalize that, so I'm basically just bad-mouthing myself.
My dog's really sassy. My dog, like my dad will be like, come here, Lucy, and she'll like look him in the eyes and not move. Like that's just my dog. So I'm very used to dogs that are like, well, she's the only dog I've had, but she's just a sassy dog. So I'm like, I don't know. She doesn't think. She just looks at you.
My dog's just mean.
My cats just have cat battles, so it's fine.
Cat battle.
They're both like really young, so they fight.
IGN Animal Club. Yo!
It's not bad. It's not a bad kind of battle. Just to clarify, it's a playful fight.
Is it? Because cats can get a little
really
aggressive.
Really
Let us know what you think about animals.
Yeah. Do your cats fight?
Tweet at us.
Are they happy?
Do you hate talking animals too?
Hashtag IG Anime, IGN IME. That's where you can reach us for normal things too. But you know, we like animals around here. Talk to us about animals. That's cool.
A dog always dies. Anyway.
There's a website called Does the Dog Die? I think that's what it's called, Does the Dog Die? And you can look up any movie and it'll tell you, like, no spoilers except if the dog dies. And that way you can avoid any movie in which a dog dies.
Actually, I appreciate that because I don't like it when doggies die
It's
in
one
movies.
of the best internet resources of our generation.
I'm so glad somebody did that.
So we got to make one for anime is what I'm saying.
Yes.
See,
what anime do dogs die? All right, I'm so glad that we brought that topic up. Lovely Muko, go watch it.
Dead dogs.
Dead dogs.
So,
God,
we have another short on here.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot more shorts picked up, or at least we've been getting into a lot more shorts.
I like shorts.
Yeah.
My attention span is kind of shot. So
the shorts this time around are kind of long.
They are.
They are. Like Kagewani, I think, is that where you're going?
Yeah.
Kagewani is, I think the first episode was like 7 or 8 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was like, what happened to my 2 minutes of eating food? Wakakazake.
I don't know. It's by the same
Bring
people.
Wakakazake back.
I miss her.
Where's my Wakakazake? Yeah. No, but this one is like based on, it's the same people who did Yamibashi? I think it's what it's
Shibai.
called. Yeah, Yamishibai. Couldn't remember what it's called. And it's the same.
What is Yamishibai?
So it's Japanese ghost stories. And it's like these shorts that are done in this very particular animation style. And there's these really creepy ghost stories. Like the first one's like a puppet or a marionette.
Good.
Like a ventriloquist kind of thing. And it's just really creepy.
This is on my Halloween
It's
to watch
totally, yeah. Because I think that's what Armando was talking about.
Nope.
I think it's the same.
Yeah, one of our coworkers was trying to get me to watch a show
Yeah,
like
and
this.
I watched the first episode. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't watch this. This is really creepy.
Wait, keep talking. I'm going to see. I wrote a note down on my phone of what it was. I'll see if it's the same thing.
But Kagewani is the same thing, but with like monsters, like kaijin. So like you go into like the first episode as a photographer and his friends, or
Did we talk about this last week?
I don't know
I
if
feel
we
like I
did or
brought it
not.
up.
You did bring up Kagewani, huh?
Yeah,
maybe.
I couldn't remember if we actually talked about it or not because we had so many to get through.
Yeah, I
remember.
think we did actually.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
What happened last week?
What I don't
Who
know.
am I?
You know, it's
Where am I? When am I?
It's busy
Snow.
video game season.
It is
but
busy video
but
game
yeah,
season.
But I like that you
point.
brought up Yamishibai because it's the same director with a kind of a horror pedigree, I guess.
Yeah, it's like a dark humor kind of thing. But
Interesting, macabre.
yeah, it's macabre. That's
so
a
I
good word
think
for it.
last week, Miranda, you were the only one who had seen it. Now
Yeah.
we've all seen
Now
the
we've
first
all
What do you
episode.
guys
seen
think? Tell me.
So I think the
Oh, that's bad.
no, that was just me being me. I think the animation style. So at first, I was really put off by the animation style just because I was like, this is creepy and weird. And then I was like, oh, that's the point. and then I got on board with it, and I knew it was about like you had described it to me, but actually like watching it play out was like, oh, weird. And my roommate was sitting next to me, and they were like, literally, what is this?
Yeah.
Like, I felt so bad. I was like, I'm sorry, I have to watch this for work.
Yeah, it's like a heavy atmosphere kind of thing, but like with dark humor threaded in.
Yeah, like these guys. And so I laughed really hard, and that was not intentional, but the guy who screws up, who they go to send to fix their fake Loch Ness monster.
So there's these guys out in the woods. They're trying to film a fake. We found
Hoax
this. We
thing.
found this.
Yeah.
Weird creature.
Yeah. So
Like us on YouTube.
Yeah.
So they send like, comment, subscribe. So they send a guy to like the guy who's like the screw up guy, I guess, and his name was Shogo, and I know a guy named Shogo, and I laughed really hard because I was like, oh, if I was casting this, I would totally put Shogo in Shogo's role, and so that made me laugh, but that was not intentional, obviously. But yeah, so they try to do this hoax, and but then they encounter an actual monster. And it was creepy, and I liked it.
Yeah, it was super creepy.
I like monster stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe don't go behind a fence where it says "Don't go there."
It had lots of teeth. And then the kaiju hunting professor just shows up.
Yeah, that was weird.
He's like,
Here.
he's like, and his like assistant or whatever is calling him like, the students need you, and he's like, I'll be there. I'm looking at the fence. Yeah. Like, okay. Yeah. So we'll see where that goes.
Yeah, that was a thing.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm really liking all these like creepy or dark things because it is October.
Yeah, it's the appropriate season for that, and I think they obviously keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Going
and
in.
I do. It's not technically a fall show, but I do want to give a shout out to Milpalm.
Oh my God, yes, which was about Halloween this week.
Just speaking of spooky things, because
I forgot to watch that.
It's supposed to keep going, but like it said, the first episode, we went to the website. So there's only one episode right now, but it went up in September.
Yeah.
And we went to the website. We were like translating it as we were going. Like, okay, first episode, like there's presumably if it says first episode, there are more.
There are more,
episodes. But where are they? Who knows? But so if you have seen the Most Popular Girls in School YouTube series, it's kind of like that.
Yep.
But Japanese and a little creepier in how the dolls are. So
Yeah,
it's
the
a
Japanese
stop
Bratz
motion
dolls.
It's a stop motion animation with dolls, and they're very sassy, like mean girl dolls.
Yeah.
And they're planning a Halloween party. and it was just so weird.
They are. They're just the mean ditzy girls in the school, and they're planning a Halloween party, and the one girl's constantly on her phone, and the other girl's a complete bubblehead. It's amazing. So it's exactly like the most popular.
And they were doing this those underhanded things like those things where it's like, oh, I love how you just wear anything, where it's like a compliment that's not a compliment. So one of the girls kind of did that. She's like, oh, you should dress as Frankenstein, because they were debating about costumes. She's like, you should be Frankenstein. I have the perfect shirt for you, and then you wouldn't have to buy a costume. She's like being all helpful. And the girl's like, well, why don't you just be Frankenstein? She's like, that's not cute enough. It's not my style. So you should do it.
Yeah,
and I was like,
so catty.
I was like, I knew girls like this. Oh my god.
Oh, it's the best.
But yeah, so I watched it. It was what, 5 minutes?
It was like 5 minutes long.
Yesterday in the morning when I needed a 5-minute break. Basically, that's why I like shorts too. If I need a 5-minute escape, that's what I do. And so I was watching it, and Megan's behind me, hearing me like giggle or being like, "Oh my god!" And I could hear her laughing at my reactions.
Yeah, so I knew exactly the part you were at, and I was like, "It's so good."
If you want something super weird, check it out.
Yeah. Definitely.
Cool.
Definitely different.
So I think that kind of concludes our fall roundup for right now.
Yeah.
Of course, we'll be checking in with these shows because we're going to be watching them, so we'll keep that in the what we're watching segment as we do every week.
Yep.
And next week we'll go back to more of the scheduled topics with the cool guest, because guests are fun.
Topics are fun.
Yep.
Yeah, so if you guys ever have anything you just want us to talk about, you can tweet to us or email us. Email us at IGN_Anime Club at IGN.com. And we'd love to hear from you guys.
Wait, one more time. That was a little fast.
IGN_Anime Club at IGN.com. There are 2 IGNs in there.
There you go. There it is.
Yeah.
Boom.
That's just how it works. Yeah, we would love to hear from you. Always open to suggestions. You
Yes.
can also do that in the Facebook group, which we mentioned previously. That is facebook.com/groups/IGN Anime Club. It says official group. Yeah. And tweeting and emailing. And you can tweet at #IGNIME. So yeah. You want to hear all the things.
We want to hear all the things.
Yeah, so you can also contact us at those places to join the Anime Club watch party.
Yes.
The watch
we
party.
can.
Talk about.
So what's a watch party?
So every week we watch 2 episodes of one anime, and we discuss it in depth and ask you guys for your feedback on it and what you guys thought about the episodes.
Yeah. Everyone can watch along with us.
Yeah. So it's like a book club, but for anime. That you guys chose. So right now we're watching Steins Gate. We are recapping episodes 21 and 22. Next week we'll be watching 23 and 24. Getting close to the end. Things are getting tense. People are skipping ahead, like in this room. Kallie and Megan, all you people who said you did. No, and there's a lot of people.
There were a lot of people who were like they couldn't wait.
The only reason I did, so I watched ahead to 23. The only reason I didn't watch all the way through to 24 and the OVA is because I had to go to bed. That's the only reason I really wanted to cheat.
To be fair, I've already watched this before, so
yeah, I was like, wait a minute,
I know what's happening.
Yeah, but yeah, so episode 21.
Yes.
The feels.
So
the feels.
Our first comment comes from John Smith on our Facebook group, and he says, "How does Steins Gate manage to be so consistently funny and heart-wrenching at the same time?"
Magic.
Which is essentially 21 in all of it, because we've seen it like kind of teetering between back and forth. Because we know right now, Alkanin's in like this very tense situation, still trying to figure out how to get past the world line, and
he's getting very broken from it.
Yeah.
It's been very serious, and then. I think the show, it's a credit to the show how well it balances tone, because they do balance the weight of the situation with funnier things like him being a total goofball in some situations.
But now it's a soul-crushing decision. It's like I'm so close to getting back to the right attractor field, but in order to do so, that means that I have to go back to the world where Kurisu is murdered.
Yeah, in the first episode, that's the first thing really that happens. That's the first D-mail, is he accidentally sends a D-mail after finding Kurisu stabbed to death. And we had that realization last week, like, oh, if we go back to that world, my Yuri will be saved, but Kurisu won't be.
And like at first that didn't really matter when the show began, because nobody cared about her. We don't know her. She's not our friend. But now... She's more than a friend.
She's more than a friend.
Hey. We'll talk about that in a little bit. 22.
Yeah.
But so that's another thing is sometimes shows don't take the time to make you care about a character that is either slated for death or is about to die or inevitably dies or whatever, if you do a flashback, you just don't care about that character yet, and it's not as effective. Whereas this one, it's effective to us because we care about her. It's effective to Okabe because he now cares about her, especially because he's repeating the same couple days over and over again. He gets so many more days with her than you would think. It's been 3 weeks since they met in reality.
Like 20 days or something.
Yeah, it's been hardly any time. And but because he's repeated so many days, it adds up to a lot more.
Yeah.
Which is I love that. It's so well done.
But then it's like you go back to this episode focuses on sort of Mayuri and her relationship with Okabe, which is so sweet. She so clearly loves him.
So one point we were talking about how Mayuri is Okarin's hostage.
Yeah.
And they kind of hint at what that means previously, and then they kind of touch on that again, in case you missed it kind of thing.
Yeah.
So whenever Mayuri's grandmother died, her and her grandmother were super close, and she's at this young, kind of tender age, and part of me is thinking she's kind of depressed, maybe considering suicide.
That's what's implied, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's why Okarin says, you're my hostage now. You can't leave. And they kind of revisit that again. Mayuri goes back to her grandmother's grave and starts talking to her in, one of the most heartbreaking scenes. Because you start realizing that the people around Okarin are remembering their deaths, remembering the other world lines. They're starting to feel them.
Oh, that was so
That was really painful. She's talking to her grandmother, at the grave about these bad dreams she's been having and how realistic they are, and she can see Okabe crying, and it feels so real, and bad things happen to her in every dream, and that was heartbreaking.
Oh, that was so painful
because she's died so many times, and she's aware of it in some way, which is super disturbing. That's.
And not only that, but she wants to thank or say I'm sorry to Okarin, which makes it even more painful. So not only is she going through this terrible death scenario in her dreams all the time, but on top of that, she's making Okarin sad, and that's the part that bothers her the most. And that's when the tears came, because I was like, oh, she can't.
Yeah, I like that you point that out. She's not as upset about dying. Well, she's clearly it's a disturbing to her, but she's more upset that the worst part of the dream for her is the fact that she can't get out the I'm sorry, or she can't thank him, or she can't communicate with him.
Yeah.
Because she cares so much for him. And also when, I think it's the beginning of the episode, where, he's I'm going to change fate, and he jumps in front of the car, and he's like, maybe if I die, then she won't die, and she pushes him out of the way, and she ends up getting hit by the car. The thing she says to him is I was finally helpful to you. And that broke my heart so much, because she thinks, at the beginning of the show, I thought she was going to be the useless character, that they were going to typecast her that way. And I think maybe in some sense she feels not as useful because she can't contribute to the science of the lab, but she contributes so much. And we've talked about this before. She offers so much to the lab that is kind of intangible. And so she's like, I finally helped you. And I was like, no, baby, you've always been helping. I was just you're the one who figured out about Daru. I was like, no, you are useful. I'm so sorry. I just wanted to hug her. She's not even real.
She's so sweet. She's so cute.
I know. That was...
Okay, I'm going to get teary-eyed, too.
She's just so powerful. She's just so important. And I think that's a big theme of the show, is that everybody matters. Everyone gets left out. Even if we hate you, you're still, you still are so important to the team.
Yeah, that's my favorite part of the show, because that was something that personally took me a very long time to realize. I thought you had to make yourself useful, and I thought you had to be make yourself a marketable human being, just because of the environment I was in, and so it took me a very long time to realize everybody has something to contribute, because if we all market ourselves a certain way, then we're going to be missing something, and so that means so much to me, that's such a prominent part of this show.
Yeah.
And part of the characterization is of every single character is that they have overlaps, but everybody is valuable.
Yeah.
And for Okabe, his friends mean more to him than anything, and individually they're all important.
So Nino Del Toro says, this episode felt like the condensed sadness that had been building up from all those tragedies and lost dreams from previous timelines. Not that anything extra sad happened, it just felt like the dam holding all those feelings finally gave out. Which is completely true, because this is where we finally see Okarin just break.
Yeah.
He's broken a little bit before and cried and been sad, but this part is just it's all out. And even we were saying, Mayuri going to her grandmother's grave is like such a big thing because she's never strayed like that before. Usually she just goes to Kamima, yeah. I forget what it was like. I was like, Kamiket? No, that's
it's like
one.
a con, right? She's
it's
usually
a fan convention for anime and fandom stuff. And she hasn't just like left like that before, or at least to our knowledge. Because they're like, where's Mayuri? She's like, I don't know where she is, but then I can guess where she's at because, Akari knows her.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is definitely that episode, just like the big exhale. Like this is just so hard. Like you can get used to Mayuri dying and you can come numb to that, but it still affects you, to the point where Okarin's just about ready to commit suicide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
makes
really
sense.
Yeah,
like hard.
He's just sitting on the roof by himself and just staring. And this show portrays depression really accurately for me. Like just we talked about with Moeka a couple episodes ago, and even with like flashbacks to when Mayuri's grandma died, and with Okabe, it's everyone just is so broken that like nothing's even happening. Like they just kind of like glaze over. Yeah, and it's so accurate to me. It's so powerful. It's just I love this show so much. It's so well done.
It is. Episode 22 was also really emotional, but I like that there was humor in parts of it too. Like I kind of needed that. Mr. Smooth.
So I got a text from Megan last night before I watched the episode, and she's like, "Oh my god, the hippocampus line," and I was like, "Hold on, I'm watching it right now." And then I watched it and I was like, yes. I like cheered this whole episode.
Yeah, like how they like got caught in the rain, and so she like has to take her clothes, and he has a tear.
Quick note: if you're gonna be wearing a white blouse, don't wear a blue lacy bra under it. Like that's not
Who does that? Like how does
first of all
clothes don't work that way?
First of all, the lace is gonna show through, even if the blue doesn't show through.
Yeah,
and so I was like, girl, buy a different bra. But
no, just don't wear that one with white.
Like it's it was a pretty bra. Wear it with black, maybe.
Yeah.
It's just
That's
general
fashion advice today.
General rule of undergarments. So there's your PSA. But so it was really, really cute how because she, is so tsundere with him.
Yeah.
And getting caught in the rain is like that romantic element. And then she's all like, "Don't get close to me. And,
don't look at me.
Don't look at me.
You perv.
You hentai." And I was like, yes, girl. Like,
but then he confesses his love, and he wants to know how she feels, and
she's like,
close your eyes, and goes in for like the most romantic kiss in anime ever. They're like my favorite anime couple ever. And then he goes, because she's like, well, I needed, there was a scientific reason.
She's like, it's not like I like you. It's just, first kisses get embedded in your memory, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, your hippocampus. And he goes, my hippocampus missed that. Could we do that kiss again?
Yeah, he's saying like it's like, well, I've already had my first kiss, but
so that one wasn't as memorable. I think we just need to do it again to be sure. I'm like,
it's just the smoothest line.
Like, yes,
yes,
excellent.
Yeah, they're perfect for each other, and I like how they build their relationship too. Like the way that their dynamic grows over time is so amazing.
Especially because she mentions, she has these kind of sort of memory. She describes them as kind of illusions, kind of like what we saw with Mayuri and remembering her death. Kurisu says she remembers Okabe. She has memories of all those previous interactions. So even though it might seem like, oh, she's only had 3 weeks and he's had all this time, because he remembers all the times he's repeated, she kind of remembers them too.
Yeah.
And that's really romantic to me. She's like, because he's the one who sticks out in her mind. She has all these memories of him.
It's like the feelings stay, even though what happened didn't really come across as strong.
Yeah. So
nice.
when he reveals to her that, if I do this, you will die, she goes on this really, I really liked her like little speech thing where she's talking about how wouldn't it be wonderful if there were just copies of me across all the world lines, and all of their experience made up me, and that everything that's important to me stays, and my feelings stay across all the versions of me. And
it was this beautiful, profound speech,
beautiful cosmic like love speech. I was like, yes,
it was the best.
Yeah, so she kind of comes to terms with saying like, that's how it should be.
Yeah,
like we shouldn't be messing with time.
Yeah,
which is moral of the story in a weird way.
Yeah,
right. And so she handles it in a very mature way. And
so they finally do it. They finally erase the last email. They undo it.
And she comes running in
as it's being erased. She's running. She's about to say like I feel the same way. I
love you
But it's
or
like
something.
almost not necessary because he knows.
He knows.
He knows. But there's something about saying it that's different.
There's something about
sweet.
putting it into words, right?
Yeah.
So she comes running back, and then the email is undone, and then
And then,
as Daniel says, at Salamander119 on Twitter, oh my gosh, Mayuri remembers everything. Her telling Okabe that it's okay, you can cry now. It was so heartbreaking. I'm done.
yeah. Oh my God. When
So
she's
the
like,
end-
you can cry. You don't have to cry for anyone else. You can cry for yourself now. I was like, bye.
yeah.
It's like, hey, we made it and we changed the world lines.
Yeah. It was so,
It's all right.
so sweet.
Like literally, bye. Like I'm walking out of the room. I'm abandoning my TV now. I can't do this.
Yep.
So-
Can't do the
but-
feels.
Yeah, a little advice from Carter Gerke, I'm guessing,
Mm-hmm.
on our Facebook group said, remember, folks, when watching episode 22 of Steins Gate, stick around for the ending theme because that was super important. I thought there was something wrong with my computer because I forgot about it.
Yeah. I
like,
I always watch the ending theme of this show. Like I watch it for most shows generally. But I make a point of watching it for the show just because I like it.
Yeah.
And so I was like sitting there. I took out my phone. Like I was checking Twitter, and then like I kind of noticed at the corner of my eye that it was different. And I was like, wait.
It's like, what is happening?
And I've been pausing this whole time. I was pausing and explaining to my roommate because my roommate's been watching it here and there when I watch it. And I'm like, oh, so I'm catching you up, blah blah blah. And so then I'm on my phone. They're like on their computer, and then it starts doing the thing. And I was like, is the Funimation app on my Xbox just glitching? What's happening?
yeah, it's like, did something happen to the audio file? Is it like kind of corrupt?
Yeah. And then
Suzuha comes in. There's an
screams.
Yeah, so Suzuha calls Daru. Daru answers the phone. Like you just hear the cracking out of the song. Yeah, then Daru answers his phone, and you notice he's talking to Suzuha. She's like, I need to talk to Okarin. Like he's like, all right, Okarin. Like this crazy girl's on the phone for you. And he's like, what, Suzuha? You shouldn't be here, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like we moved timelines. Like there shouldn't be anything wrong with the future now. Like time travel shouldn't be a thing.
Right.
And she's like, well, we need you to come to the radio building right now, right this second, because you need to stop World War III.
Yeah,
like,
and
what?
that's where it ends.
Yeah.
I yelled. I was like, I forgot it was possible for Suzuha to come back. I was like, Suzuha.
Yes, yeah.
I was so pumped because I didn't predict that happening. Like I was trying to. I'm not very good at predicting plots anyway, just in general, but I really did not expect that. And then it was like, hey, it's Suzuha. And I was like, yeah, Suzuha, part-time warrior coming to save us all. Like,
It's like another good notable thing, too, is that she knows her father. So things have changed in the future. They're not the same.
yeah. Because I had totally forgotten, like, when they go back to the or the beta line, like, there's going to be really significant differences. And so I just forgot that it was a possibility that she's not, old and died in 2000,
Yeah.
Totally forgot that would be a thing.
Yeah.
So happy.
So now we have the question of which is worse, a world dominated by CERN or World War III. So so I guess they all have their problems. I mean, we don't know like the events of World War III because it could still be the Time War. And she's just not saying that.
She says something about, no, never mind. Something about a lot of people dying. That's all.
Yeah, like a lot of people died.
World War III is like a lot of people dying.
Yeah.
So that's bad.
So yeah,
For
either
sure.
way, they're both bad, and
Yeah.
Okarin still needs to stop it. So
Yep.
And I imagine him just being so tired and being like, no.
it's like really
Again.
Yeah. I don't want to say anything because I did skip ahead, so I'm just going to be quiet.
Yeah, I'm just going to stop talking
I'm
now.
just going to stop talking now.
and go home and watch the
But everyone should watch for next week episodes 23 and 24.
Yeah.
This is going to be our last
last two
watch
episodes.
party for
But-
Steins Gate.
No, we
Except
have one more. We have the OVA after that.
Oh, that's
so
right.
We have 2 more sessions. So, with that being said, start sending in suggestions for the next watch party. So this is a majority vote, and I kind of come up with these based off of the Facebook group and based off of some other research.
what a lot of people are talking about.
Yeah, what's available. So like things to keep in mind. If a show is super available, that has a higher chance of getting picked than something that you have to buy the Blu-ray or you have to do this like obscure thing.
We want everybody to be able to
Yeah.
follow along.
Yeah, so we want this to be like super accessible. Like in the case with Steins Gate, it was more than other things.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like some of the criteria we keep in mind. Also, we want to try to keep it around 24 episodes. I think somewhere in the 30s is kind of stretching it.
We're not doing a One Piece watch party. It's not happening.
Yeah, sorry.
Until the end of time. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. This is not the
10
One
episodes a
Piece podcast because that's all we talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah, even if you watch like 100 episodes a week. That's still 7 weeks. It's a lot.
Yeah. That's
Anyway.
a lot.
And 100 episodes a week is like impossible.
It's impossible.
Yeah. So
Everybody
yeah, so it's
becomes
something
a
that's, a doable commitment.
Yeah.
For us and for anybody else who's watching.
Yeah, and something good that we can like kind of dig into, like that maybe needs a little more
Attention.
analyzing or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So let us know what you guys are thinking.
And we'll have a poll officially
I
once
know
we've gathered suggestions.
People are starting polls in the Facebook group already, so
Yeah. So that'll help narrow it down. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so let us know what you guys want to watch. You can reach out to me on Twitter at Havoc Rose, and that's Havoc with a K.
Megan, MEGHAN _IGN.
And I'm Kallie. That's my name. I'm at
Hi, Kallie.
Nice to meet you.
I'm at Inkydojiko, INKYDOJIKKO. And I want to note really quickly that Kurisu did call Okabe a dojiko in episode 22. And I was so happy because I was like, I swore it was a word. So I felt vindicated. So that's me. You can find me
And
there.
it ties into Steins Gate, so that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thinking ahead.
Megway.
Yeah. Yeah, anime.
With that said, episode 26, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you
Yay.
next week.
Yes.
Yay,
Yay.
anime!
Bye-bye.